I'd never thought of it again. It wasn't something that I thought of consciously. It appeared to me, if you like. It made itself known to me in moments when it was necessary in the beginning. So what it did was that, and what I did know in that moment that never ever went away, was that it was there. And knowing that it was there, knowing that it said you are taken care of, you will always be taken care of, was something that it was like my rudder in life. It was my compass, it was my anchor. You know, use any analogy that you like, any metaphor that you like. It grounded me into knowing that anything can happen to me and that I would be able to steer my way through it. That was where it began. So as a young child, and then growing up, you know, when things happened around that I had no control of, rather than falling victim to it, I was able to somehow remain within that place of knowing. It was really a knowing for a very long time that I wasn't aware that I knew, but it was there, and that's how, as I got older, I became more and more aware that other people didn't necessarily have that sense of knowing and that awareness. And there lay the difference between, it wasn't that they didn't have it, it was that everybody has it and had it, but somehow it never left me. I never switched off to it. And so later in life, when other experiences came about, when it spoke to me, if you like, it actually, as though you know, I were having a conversation with another person, I began to realize that it had a life of its own, in a sense, that it was something that was different to my everyday awareness. It wasn't my ego, it wasn't my identity, and how I knew myself to be on a regular basis. So I began to realize that there was something there that I could tap into. And then when other situations came about, again, I was in difficulty and I needed help, and I heard its voice, and it literally was able to give me practical assistance. Then I was able to come through that and then move on. What I felt was, wow, this is really amazing. You know, why do I need to have difficult situations to experience this? What would it be like if I were connected to it all the time? You know, how would my life be different? Do I really need to have traumas and, you know, dramas to feel it and to connect with it, to know that it's there? And that was somewhere sort of late in my late 20s and early 30s, and I really dwelled in that question. And what I realized was that we all have it. It's an essence. It's who we are. It's the essence within us. And if we were willing to live life without dramas, if we were willing to let go of our addiction to drama and addiction to having to have things, you know, be a certain way, perhaps it would be able to show, you know, its power, its magic on a daily basis. And then I wonder what life could be like. And is that what the rishis, the ancient sages of India, were talking about when they talked about Atman and Brahman and, you know, these terms that elude all of us, very esoteric terms, but it's essentially the self. And that's when I began to think of writing the book.